words are working hard for you. Eat your words, but don't go hungry. Words have always nearly hung me.
What a nice song that is. Anyway, I'm Kip, your host of the Torchcast, and before I introduce my guests and we start the formal show, I wanted to talk about an issue that was near and dear to my heart, and that is that Big Rapids does not have an adequate movie theater. Over Christmas break, I went home to Lexington, Kentucky, where my parents live, and I saw La La Land, I saw Manchester by the Sea, and I saw Nocturnal Animals. All of those movies were fantastic, all award-winning, and I went online to see if Big Rapids Movie Theater, which is the Carmack Cinema, was playing them at the time, and they weren't. That should say something to you, that these three award-winning fantastic movies were not shown where we live. So, this is a call to action. Anyone listening with a little bit of money in their pocket that's looking for a good investment, build a movie theater in Big Rapids. This is a growing community. There's more and more people coming to Ferris every year, except for this year, granted. But if you put up the money for this movie theater, I will manage it. I will maintain it. It'll be the best theater. I'm sounding like Donald Trump right now, but this will be the best theater of all time. I will put my heart and soul into this. All I ask in return is that people in the community come and watch good movies, as opposed to the Star Wars-y kind of mass appeal movies that Big Rapids tends to play. This will be the hub of cinema. Thank you for listening. Now, let's get to the Torchcast.
Hold tight, count of three, gotta stay close by me. And hold tight, sing and shout, just wrap around about and hold tight, shut your eyes.
Welcome to the Torchcast. This is your host, Kip Bybee, and this is episode 16 already, and I did the math today. I've been on the air for over 3 hours on the podcast, so thanks everyone for listening. Today my guest is Jasmine Nettles. Hello, Jasmine.
Hi, Kip. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Cold, but
Yeah,
it's fine.
it's not pleasant out. The weather has really been fickle.
Yeah.
But I had Jasmine on today because I've been meaning to have Jasmine on for like all semester, last semester. We finally made it happen. And she is on today. She wants to talk about student staffing.
Yeah, so it is spring recruitment for student staff. So every year we do a mid-year hire and a full-year hire. It is like a complete restaff, so it is time for people to turn in their requirements and applications. So openings include resident advisors, senior resident advisors, desk services managers, suite advisors and suite coordinators, and apartment managers.
Nice. So if I wanted to be an RA,
Yes.
what would be the process for me?
So you would go to the Ferris Housing website, to the employment site, and click on the student staff recruitment link. You need to submit the application. You need to submit a resume cover letter, 2 references, one preferably from your RA or from an RA from your building, and then another one from either an advisor or someone who can attest to your character.
Gotcha.
And then you submit it Friday, January 20th by noon to the housing office.
Okay. What kind of people are you looking for, like personality-wise?
Well, we want people who are excited about building community. We want people who are excited about diversity and inclusion and promoting cultural awareness, being LGBT friendly, and creating safe places for residents who feel like they don't have any.
Right.
So basically molding that home away from home in a residence hall on campus.
Yeah. So tell me about your experience with it, because you've been an RA.
I was an RA last year in Brophy McNerney. And this year I'm a desk service manager in Mel Travis, which is unfortunately closing at the end of the year.
Yeah.
But it's been great. I was able to take a serious journey of self-discovery because you get put in some situations that really make you understand who you are and why it's important to be open to other people.
For sure.
So it's been great, and I would recommend it to anyone who loves working in close-knit environments with people and who love building relationships.
Yeah.
And it was a role that I had always wanted to take on because I had friends who were RAs at schools like Michigan State and Penn State. So when I finally got the opportunity, I took it, and I haven't looked back. So
nice, cool. So let's back up a second here too. I wanted to ask you about your major.
Mm-hmm.
What's that?
It's technical and professional communication, and I minor in creative writing.
Right. And Jasmine is one of our wonderful copy editors at the
I
Torch.
am. I'm the managing copy editor for this year's publication.
Gotcha. Nice. So, when are you graduating?
In spring, I finally walk and I'm out.
What are we going to do without you?
And listen, I don't know, but I'm leaving. So
Yeah.
That's for sure.
I hear you. You and Kira, when I started writing at the Torch, you and Kira were, that was copy editing right there. That's when I look up copy editing in the dictionary, that's Kira and Jasmine
we were
right there.
massive copy nerds. It's fine, though.
Yeah, they love it. That's true. So let's talk about news here. We have kind of a lot of stuff, but we're just gonna of course, every week I have to skip some stuff, so I'm sorry.
It's okay.
If the article you'd like is not in here, but it's
Okay.
for time. First of all, we got Casino Night, which was last Friday, and that was put on by the Clacks office. It was a lot of fun. I was only there for half hour reporting, but yeah, Angie Roman always does a great job with those kind of things, and it was cool too because the dealers, like for blackjack and everything, were
faculty.
Yeah,
So
there were people from housing. Speaking of housing, I forgot to ask you this: dorm versus residence hall. I always called it a dorm, but that's like a swear word.
Yes, something like that. So when we say residence hall, we want residents, mainly freshmen or first year students, who come into this environment for the first time. It's their first time being away from home. We want them to feel comfortable and make their residence hall room their home away from home.
Right.
So, if you were to go home, you wouldn't call the house you lived in a shack. So you would call it your house, or you would call it your home.
Unless you actually grew up in a shack.
Yeah, unless you actually grew up in a shack, and then at that point you live in a shack, and that's fine. But we want it to be a comfortable place. The dorm just doesn't resonate as a positive word in some senses because some people don't mean it that way. Right. So we try to enforce that as you live in a residence hall. This is where you reside when you are not at home. You have a key. You literally live here. Want 24 access to it. So that's what we try to.
Another question, since you have so much experience working in a residence hall. If there's a fire drill and you hide in your wardrobe during it, what's the consequence for that?
Well, that does happen. We've caught some interesting things during the fire drill. Yeah. But so the penalty for not leaving a building during the fire drill, especially when we've hung up flyers and we told you fire drill at 10 o'clock, is a $5 fine from the fire marshal.
That's not too bad. I thought you got kicked. I thought you were in big trouble.
If you continue to fail to comply, then yes. But the first offense is always the fine. Yeah. But you could face prosecution if you do some really crazy stuff. But
then I feel comfortable admitting this now since
in your wardrobe.
My freshman year, there was a fire drill, and it seemed like there was too many fire drills going on. One of them wasn't a drill; someone accidentally hit the thing, and then there's another one
accidentally hit the thing.
So me and my roommate decided to stay in the wardrobe.
We found people in wardrobes. We found them in showers. We found them underneath the beds. We found them.
See, looking back, it's stupid because, wouldn't it just be easier to leave for a second?
Get up and run and leave, yeah. And most of the time, because when we go through fire drills, we don't open things and check, but they'll leave the doors open, so I can see your feet sticking out of this wardrobe.
Or you sneeze.
Yeah. Or you're laughing because you're like, oh, I hope they don't catch me. Yeah. So we catch them every time.
It's really amazing what people think they can get away with. And we'll get to that when we get to the crimes of the week. But. Okay. All right. Let's see. Next we got Strong is the New Pretty, which is an article by Harley Harrison. Yeah. So it's about an art exhibit, a photography art exhibit that they had in the UC depicting strong women. And the theme really is that beauty isn't, It's comes from being strong and confident and secure, right? Not looks. Am I doing it justice? Yes. Okay. Did you see it?
I did. I read her column and I read her her feature for the paper. And Harley always does a really good job with her writing. So when I was reading it, I knew that the exhibit was coming. Right. And I'm completely in support of a movement like that, especially in photographs. I have a sister who's into photography, and so is her boyfriend. So I get the stories about, I took this great picture here, and I did stuff like that. So it's great to see a movement that I'm very passionate about, which is feminism and equality. And I love that they make it it's normal to just be a woman, and it's normal to be a woman and not hold any type of standard other than the fact that I'm a woman. Right. So I do love it, and I'm really excited to go see it this week.
Cool. So that's all I got about it. I feel like I didn't do it justice, but...
Well, no, until we... it just opened today. So, until you go through it, you probably wouldn't really... understand the concept, and I've walked past it, so the photos they're even the lighting on the photos looks fantastic.
Yeah,
so
they do a really good job.
Yeah, it looks really nice. The art gallery is always really cool.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so crimes of the week.
Oh God. Okay.
Let's see. I see a lot of it's in residence halls. I don't want to. But I'm just, I got to say the truth. Marijuana and brophy.
Yeah.
We got a drunk driver. We got marijuana possession. That someone got pulled over with a broken taillight. That's normally how it goes down.
Always how it goes here.
Yeah.
Or driving while intoxicated or something.
Yeah, for sure. That's why you gotta, you shouldn't be riding dirty, so to speak, in the first place. But make sure you check, if you're gonna, make sure you check your taillights and your headlights.
Yeah.
And
at least have some kind of insurance card in the car.
Right.
Card in the car. It's just you would think people would know better, but sometimes they really don't.
See, there's people, I don't smoke weed, but
Same.
I don't understand the concept of doing it in the car while you're driving.
Same.
You always hear about people that drive, they're driving and smoking. That's when you get pulled over, you're definitely gonna get caught.
I don't smoke either, but if I even detect the smell on someone, they can get in my car, and I'm not getting in there.
That makes a lot of sense.
That's how I've always done it. So
yeah, why risk it? All right, let's see. We sound like a couple of nerds, but
it's fine.
Anyway,
it's okay.
2 students with weed in Miller Hall. We got marijuana and pewter ball. That's disappointing. You don't hear much about pewter ball.
Yeah, pewter ball is, I think it used to be all honors, but I believe now it's all but one floor is in honors.
Gotcha.
And I think next year it won't be honors at all. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
It'd be interesting to go and look at the data in terms of how many weed arrests are there and if it's in an honors or not.
Yeah, I know just from reading on the record, the weed calls have gotten significantly higher in honors halls, and 1 or 2 is a lot because there used to be none.
Right.
So, but when there's 1 or 2 a week, you're like, dang, that's a lot now.
Yeah.
But
unfortunate. Anyway, so we got unwanted guest in a West Campus apartment, but when they called the cops, the guy had already left.
Yeah.
So I guess that worked out. But if it was like a break-in, I would assume they would maybe go after. Maybe it was just a guy they didn't want in their apartment anymore. Yeah,
the story we got when we were reading them for the On the Record piece was that he showed up trying to get his girlfriend's attention, and because the West Campus apartments don't have security like the halls do, so anybody can just pull up to a building if they know where they're going. So unfortunately, that is what happened. But he was gone before DPS arrived. So
glad it ended well.
Yeah.
Let's see. This one's complicated. So hopefully, let's see. A woman made threats to the university, after a guy did not text her back in a quote appropriate manner.
Yes.
So I'm struggling to make the connection to threatening Ferris and
I interpreted it to mean that she was upset that they weren't helping her, locate him. But as university employees, we're not allowed to give any information about any kind of student.
Yeah.
So even if it was like he's not texting me back, I'm sorry, but you got to try to find him on your own.
Gotcha. Okay, so she thought that he was maybe missing or something, and she said, if you don't tell me where he is, I'm going to come there with a crowbar.
Probably. She was going to spray paint and break all the windows and everything. Okay. That's probably what was going to happen.
Yeah. Bummer. She seemed upset,
mad.
apparently.
She was real mad. I was reading it like, somebody should have just helped her.
Yeah.
Because that's bad.
Well, maybe she had like the number for your boyfriend's friends or something. She should have went there first instead of the threats.
I'm like, it was probably just love drama.
Yeah,
okay.
It sounds like it. It sounds like it. I was watching... what's the show? Jerry Springer yesterday morning.
Why, Kip? That is awful.
Oh, you know what? I love Jerry Springer. I love Maury. I love. I even love TMZ. I'm a sucker for like really bad TV.
Oh my God. So fake news. You like fake news?
I don't like any news anymore.
Same, honestly.
But all right, let's see. Impersonating the president. This is an article by Andrea Lanehart. Someone pretended to be the president of student government.
Right, I saw that.
Yeah. They emailed the treasurer of student government and requested like $500. I don't remember how much it was, but $500 or whatever to be transferred to him. But it was fake. It wasn't a real. Yeah.
In our article, we didn't print an amount because we weren't sure. I mean, we received numbers, but because there wasn't a yes, absolutely, that was it. We didn't run it. But it was basically, they believed that it was from like a spam, a hacker or something from another country who found the email online and just tried to, because clearly if you look at the email that it came from, it was a proxy. You can tell it is a dummy IP address. But so, I mean, thankfully nothing happened after it, but it's pretty good.
I mean, that's pretty eloquent a way to
try to get
steal,
And you asked an accredited university for only $500. That was it's like you should have known something was wrong then. They asked for such a small amount.
Right.
But
that's funny. Not funny like haha, but that's funny weird.
That people will even try.
Yeah. All right, let's see. We're moving a little fast because we have a couple opinions I want to get to this week. But
Okay.
Ferris State Fishing Club hosts ice fishing tournament. The only note I have on this is that I was assigned to cover this story, and Johnny, one of our
Probably
other
wanted
writers,
to do it, didn't he?
yeah, he took it from me.
He's
Thank
fantastic.
God, because it was 6 a.m. on a Sunday
I'm not
morning.
getting on no ice. I'm not going outside at 3 o'clock in the morning. No, not for ice fishing.
I don't
Because if
blame
you
you.
can fish for ice, you can fish for human bodies, and I will fall through, so I'm good.
Jasmine,
It's fine.
I think they actually fish for fish.
I don't
through the
care.
ice.
I don't know, because if I went on ice, I would be the person, the unfortunate soul who breaks all the ice and everybody dies. And that's just, I would just rather not.
Yeah.
I am that kind of clumsy. It's terrible.
I wasn't looking forward to it, so thank you, Johnny, for taking that. But apparently it was fun and good, and I can't imagine ice fishing. I've never really fished, but I can't imagine ice fishing being fun. But if you like it,
No.
then great.
Like, because how are fish alive in ice?
I don't know.
Like, are they really alive down there?
Apparently, they're eating
See,
worms.
see, I have all the kind of crazy questions that nobody ever wants to answer. That's why I don't do stuff like that. Like, nope, just tell me about it after. It's fine.
Yeah, let's just wait till summer. If we're gonna fish at all, then
You know,
let's wait.
and
till
I will
summer.
sit on the dock, and I'm not getting in a boat. So
Exactly, a dock with one of those reclining, like
Just
oh my
really
God. That sounds-
relax
That
and
sounds
just
really
chill.
nice, actually.
Yep.
You guys go fish. I'll sit here. All right, let's see. Ferris 5-year plan will include a Swan Annex renovation, new PGM Learning Center at Cat Key, improvements made to the pharmacy building, West Campus apartments expanded,
Right.
Southeast Campus student housing demolished and redeveloped. I don't know what that Southeast Campus.
We haven't received any information about what they're doing with Mel Travis. We only know that they're closing it. We know that they're closing it for the betterment of the community, betterment of the campus. But we don't know what's going to happen once it's torn down. So
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Sports complex will be added to, and major electronic sign on the corner of Perry and State Street. So I don't know what that means. Maybe like a big Ferris thing.
like a jumbotron for Ferris.
I don't
I'm
know.
into it.
It seems like I don't know the word for it. Maybe like gauche or tacky to have a big.
Superfluous. Yeah, it's very, very extra. I call it extra. So
Yeah. All right. Let's see. MLK week. So you just came from the tunnel of oppression.
I did. Yes.
So tell me about that.
Well, I, as one of the members of the Harmony Project, it's my staff collateral for the Office of Housing and Residence Life. So there's about 15, 16 of us who make up this committee, and we pick our collaterals in August, and we start putting together the Tunnel of Oppression in the middle of September. So every year, the not quote-unquote theme is different. So last year, we just did racial oppression and gender oppression, but this year we did topic. So we did like certain topics. So there's freedom of speech. We got cyberbullying, human trafficking, and police brutality.
Yeah.
And gun control were all of the ones we talked about. And then our advisor, Hall Director Alex Fix, did a history on the Tunnel of Oppression. So since 2006, when it first started, all the way up until now. And just every year, we want to try to relay a message of what it means to be oppressed in the sense of whatever the topic is.
Right.
So we do facts, and everything we do is cited. It's on our displays. So we put it together. We try to make it in a smaller space so that it's more intimate and that people can have conversations amongst themselves about, what those displays mean to them. Does it trigger them in any way?
Right.
Why does it trigger you? You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah. My question would be, how can you be oppressed by gun control, though? This is like my big thing.
I think you know. We did it not we, my friends Levi and I believe my friend Megan, who are on my staff at MT, they did it like a phone conversation. And it was like a conversation back and forth as to why I feel oppressed because there's no gun control and why you feel oppressed because there is gun control. You know what I'm saying? So it was really cool.
Was it Levi Sipsick?
No, Levi Woods. Okay. But he just, their group, they did a really good job because it's like an iPhone talking conversation. And it's it's the facts on why people feel like we need gun control, and then it's fact on why people think that we shouldn't have them. Right. So it was pretty interesting.
Okay. Gotcha. All right. We talked a lot about MLK week last week, so I don't want to go super into it, but what else is there this week? I mean, you'll hear this on Thursday, I believe, if you're listening to the first day. Is there anything else besides?
We had a Freedom March on Monday, and that's when we did the preview of the Tunnel of Oppression. The Office of Multicultural Student Services hosted a student tribute for MLK, where people performed skits, dances, songs, things like poems, things like that. And then the turnover pressure went from this whole time, well, from Monday until today. And then tonight is the 5-star speaker, Bakari Sellers from CNN, one of my favorite political analysts from CNN. And then yesterday they did the Politics Today, like what would MLK think, with the Political Engagement Project and student government. Yeah, so I didn't end up making it out to that, but it was Gary Huey, a couple other professors, a couple students. I believe Arshana McKenzie was on the board, was on the panel. I apologize, my bad. Yeah, so it was pretty cool. It was interesting to hear the students' perspectives versus the professors because they're older and they live longer. So it's pretty cool. It was interesting, though. Gotcha. All right, so moving on here to pharmacy students talk about their insane schedules. I'm not going to go super into it, but basically pharmacy students have a crazy hectic schedule. They do. One of our senior resident advisor is a pharmacy student. Yeah. And she's like, I swear she's like a mini superhero. She never stops. And I don't know how she does it. And she does it in heels every day. So that's what they sign up for. And she loves it. And if I was a science nerd, I'd probably love it too. But I am not. Yeah. As soon as somebody says the word like sodium or potassium, I'm ready to go. I'm out because I have every no idea. Time. But that's cool. So opinions. Yeah. You wrote an opinion this week. I did write an opinion this week. Tell me about it. So I saw a Facebook. Well, I was scrolling on Facebook and there was this YouTube video that came up. And the title was like, what Trevor Noah doesn't understand. And I'm like, what? Trevor Noah is one of my favorite people in the whole universe. What's wrong with Trevor Noah? And I knew that it was probably going to have something to do with the interview he just did with the Blaze host, Tommy Loren. Yeah. So it was just a whole big thing. And this vlogger, I don't even remember her name, but she just talked about why he, as a immigrant who wasn't, raised in the United States, who didn't face oppression in the United States, why he shouldn't speak on oppression or inequalities in the States because he's never experienced it. When, LOL, because he was raised in apartheid South Africa and he's mixed race. So I'm pretty sure he knows what oppression is. But it was just me kind of like narrowing down what was wrong with what she said. Right. Because, he was very much himself. He's a comedian and he did what he always does, which is give the facts, but he did it lightly. And he's not a person who yells. He's not a person who talks very hard, but Tommy is. So that's probably why the vlogger felt like he should have been a little bit more stern. Yeah. But they're young. Like, we're young. So right. It's funny. I think everyone, I can't think of really anyone that likes Tommy Loren. I'm nobody in here. So. I'm like a conservative-y kind of libertarian-y guy, too, and I do not. She's not, like, good. Well, it's hard for me to put it into words why I don't like her. This is what my issue is with Tommy Loren, and I won't give her any credit because nothing she says is factual. My issue with her is that she tries to be unbiased, but she's completely biased at the same time. Right. You get upset because Meryl Streep used her First Amendment right to criticize what she thinks was an indiscretion done by the president-elect. Yeah. But then you go on your show and literally burst veins from your neck because you're screeching and because you disagree with her so wholeheartedly. And that's fine. Right. But you can't call someone a snowflake because someone's offended by something, but then you proceed to be the same way. Yeah, I think her outrage at people's outrage is what's unnerving. It is unnerving. She gonna have a stroke before she's 26. So if you don't like someone's outrage, that's fine by me, but she's outraged, Like at the same time, how can you be outraged that I'm outraged? Yeah, I mean that doesn't work. A little bit hypocritical. It's pretty fun. But I don't like Trevor Noah either. So to be fair, yeah, I think I just like him because he came over here and made his way here. Like that's definitely admirable. Yeah, he found his path, and it's not that like he's a nice guy. Right. Like he took Tommy out to like lunch or dinner or something because the backlash from their interview together was horrid. People were so disrespectful to her, and I don't care how crazy she is, you don't have to be disrespectful. Right. That's what the issue is already. And it was just he did something to be nice, and I'm like, if there were more people who were willing to have conversations, maybe we wouldn't be in this mess, but we are, and that's just the truth of the matter. So, all right, well, thanks for being on, Jasmine. Yeah, thanks for having me, Kip. This is
So yeah, everyone have a good week. We'll see you next week. Thanks for listening. Make sure you like and share. And I've been meaning to do this for a couple weeks, but I always forget. If you've listened all the way through, I want you to do this. Comment. What's a random word?
Torchenstein.
Yeah. Well, how do you spell it though? Comment pickle.
Pickle. Oh my God, Kip. Wow, that's really good. I'm excited.
Comment pickle if you've listened this far. And if any of my friends say, "Oh, I listened, good show" or anything, I'm going to know because you didn't comment pickle if you're lying. So thank you, everyone.
Or if you skip to the middle and then try to watch the ending.
Exactly. You get one talking point. You're like, "Oh, I liked how you talked about," but no. So pickle. And thank you for listening. We'll see you next week.
Bye, guys.